Hi everyone, welcome back to Natural Blondes. I am Jana and here to you today to talk about Women's Health Part 3. So if you would like, click down and subscribe and keep listening for more of women's health. So Part 3 today we're going to be talking about pregnancy and when you do actually find out you're pregnant and conceive. So it's some of the best news feeling ever, but a lot of us all of a sudden are like, okay, now what? What do I do? Um, but it's really, really important to start, before you conceive, eating healthier, cleansing, getting rid of the extra toxins, and then really, really important once you do conceive to make sure you stay that way. Once we're growing a fetus, we need extra uterine muscle, amniotic fluid, our placenta, our blood volume increases by 50%, our liver and kidneys are working for two, and most of all, we're growing and developing a child. So it's very, very important we get the essential nutrients that our bodies need for us and the growing fetus. So what we want to do is avoid processed food. Again, that's what I always reiterate, especially now. We definitely want to avoid toxins, especially chemicals like cleaning products, those fancy scent things we a lot of times have, and then a lot of pesticides and things like that in our food. One of the biggest reasons for miscarriage a lot of times is lack of nutrients or toxins for birth defects and things like that. So those are definitely things we want to avoid. Traditionally and all over the world in different cultures, pregnant women actually ate different foods in order to help the growing developed fetus, which a lot of times is where I feel like herbs come in. So what that does is offer our bodies the extra, support we need. That's why they're called supplements, because we're supplementing the nutrients that we're not getting from our regular daily diet. So of course, most of us know, but I definitely want to reiterate, we want to be on a prenatal. Prenatals have the folic acid, which helps reduce the neural tube defects, and that's very important early on in the developing fetus. So a lot of times we should probably, if we're trying to conceive, make sure we're taking a prenatal even before. A lot of times I just have women of childbearing age always just take a prenatal. It's similar to a multivitamin, a little extra added things, so it's not going to hurt. So we definitely want to make sure we're taking that ASAP right away. Now, again, when I was talking about like food and avoiding toxins and pesticides, we want to make sure we're getting a prenatal that does not have any of that in it. So if you're just buying it off the shelf from a random store, we don't know what's in there. If there's dyes, additives, things like that, that could actually, counteract what we're trying to do with the prenatal. So we want to make sure we're getting a good one. The one I use all the time and like to suggest is Nature's Sunshine's prenatal. It's called Nature's Prenatal, and they actually even have ginger in it too, which could help soothe their stomachs and with morning sickness. Little added benefit there. Another thing we want to make sure we're taking is an omega, a good healthy omega-3 fatty acid, and that we're eating good and healthy fats. That's so important for the developing fetus, for its nervous system, brain health. Again, with our nervous system and brain health as well. We've even heard that good omegas can help reduce preeclampsia, postpartum, preterm labor, and definitely different risks associated with birth. So again, like I was saying, we want trace minerals, healthy essential nutrients, and so herbs a lot of times have those. So the red infamous herbs I always talk about, red raspberry, has a lot of those trace minerals that we want and need. So again, once we find out we're pregnant, we want to be making sure we're helping that uterus in preparation for childbirth. So the things, as soon as someone tells me they're pregnant, or if I tell people if you're trying to get pregnant, make sure right away the prenatal, the omega, in red raspberry can help with those things. Now, a lot of times, if we are taking a prenatal, B vitamins, there's actually a thing called methylation, and sometimes some of us have a hard time methylating our B vitamins. So we have a thing called methyl combo, and that has active forms of B12 and folic acid. So our bodies don't have to work to methylate that, and if you're one of those people who do have a hard time methylating, it's already done for you. So that is another very, very important supplement I choose to use. So the prenatal, the methylated, and the omega, those three I want people taking right away. And then if you would like, add the red raspberry. But that would help tremendously for a healthy pregnancy. Now, once we're ready to give birth, Nature Sunshine actually has a formula called 5W, and that specifically is for 5 weeks before your due date. And what that does is actually help prepare your body for labor. It helps tone and strengthen the uterus in preparation for childbirth. It can help calm false contractions, those Braxton Hicks. Helps relieve pain, relaxes our uterine muscles. It can even reduce anxiety and irritability associated with giving birth. This is something I use, and I actually tell other people to use, and I swear by it. I didn't have any medication or anything like that, and had a natural birth. And I will chalk it up to having, taking these nutrients throughout my pregnancy, and then the 5W at the end. So those are definitely things I would suggest, and definitely you want to take if you want a healthy pregnancy. Now, if you have more side effects or issues of being pregnant, there's tons of herbs that can help with that as well, like severe morning sickness, preeclampsia, things like that. So those are things I would reach out to one of us to ask if you're suffering from one of those, and we can, help give you a supplement that could help with those symptoms. But for overall general healthy pregnancy, I would definitely highly recommend these things that I suggest. So stay tuned for part 4 of Women's Health. And again, please subscribe so you can continue to watch these videos. And if you have any questions, reach out. Have a good day. Bye.